Hello friends, those back pages here. I hope you're well. It's been an interesting week, hasn't it? Really, going into the week I really didn't have any topics that I wanted to discuss, and probably, was gonna take the week off from releasing a video, an episode, but here we are. Yeah, I'm just going to do some talking. I did get in some mail that I spoke about last time that I'm going to show off and kind of intertwine everything. I think I showed off one of these. I can't even remember, but I'll show them again. Two of them I did not show. But it's been an interesting week. Tuesday, eBay divorced itself from PWCC for shilling, kind of like, Capone with tax evasion and OJ with whatever they wound up sending in the jail for. They found an excuse, shilling. I don't really care. I never, well, not never, but I haven't shopped at PWCC in probably 2.5 years, going on 3 years. Whenever Slabgate started, kind of opened my eyes to that a little bit. And I avoided their auctions. Obviously, they showed up in my searches, but I never bid on it. I can honestly say I never bid on any of their stuff after Slabgate. So them being gone just clears up my searches. I don't have to, because I'll be honest, there's been a couple times they've had some good stuff that I would like to own, but when I said I was never going to shop there again, I meant it. Including they had a PSA 7 Tom Brady 2002 Topps Chrome that ended, I think even last week it was, for $76. So they go for about $40 more than that. It is what it is. So good riddance to that. I'm sure they'll start up their own platform, depending on who and what you believe. That was one of the prefaces of starting the whole eBay kicking them off their platform thing. But, the truth will probably never come out, but it is what it is. So that was Tuesday. Now tonight I'm filming this Thursday. A little later than I would have liked, because work obligations. I would have actually liked to have gone live with this earlier, but here we are. It was announced today that Fanatics, which is known for memorabilia and signed photos and stuff like that, and they've had their share of exclusive retail releases from both Topps and Panini over the years. And it was announced today that Fanatics will have, come 2026, they'll have exclusive rights to MLB cards. And I believe Major League MLB PA in the 23 season. Say after the 20, it might be the 24 season. I don't remember. I didn't do a lot of legwork before pushing record, because this needs to be spoken about. I'm sure you guys, this is not news to most of you. This is not news, but to some of you it might be. And shout out to Snoop. I miss those, around the hobbies. So that means that no more Topps after 2025. So in 4 years, no more Topps. So, of course, the initial kick to the junk reaction was, oh my God, the sky is falling. I had that reaction like everybody else. It made me very sad this afternoon. Not gonna lie. It really did make me sad. You know, I pride myself on being a collector, and specifically graded rookie cards. And if I had to pick only one set for baseball, it's Flagship. From 1952 through today. So from Eddie Matthews in the 52 set to, Bo Bichette in the 2020 set. Even some of the, Kellenick when he has an update card in 2021 Topps. And in between, everybody in between. Trout, Jeter, Nolan Ryan, Mike Schmidt, George Brett, Ricky Henderson. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And, crap players. Flameouts, Canseco, etc. It's about collecting. It's about having, your collection. So the initial reaction is that that's gone. That's done. So you've got people that say you should, well, that's okay. Just collect vintage. Well, not for nothing. A lot of people already have vintage. You're never going to own everything, so there's always going to be something to quote-unquote buy. I get that. But for the most part, I'm fortunate enough to have most of the vintage post-war rookies. So just collect vintage doesn't work for me. And, we should never pigeonhole anyone into anything. Now, I enjoy collecting rookie cards, graded rookie cards. But as of this year, I've started dabbling in prospects again. Out of boredom, out of whatever it may be. It's something that's given me joy, and that's what this hobby is about. So, I spoke about it last time, that, with Volpe, the Yankee prospect, I got in this Sky Blue PSA 9. I sent a very fair offer to the seller. He accepted. These are numbered to $4.99 there on the bottom. So he accepted my offer. So what do you do when a seller accepts your offer? You look to see what else they have. So he had this Gooden 85 Topps in a PSA 5. Now look at this thing. If you know anything about this card, the centering on this is freaking fantastic. The coloring, the coloring on the card, the ink, it's very good. It's not amazing, but it's above average for the card, for the release. And again, it's a PSA 5. He had stated recently graded, freshly graded, I think, or whatever it was. There must be, I did look it over a little bit, there must be a wrinkle somewhere. Because this is not the type of card you're going to send in if you don't think it's at least a 9, possibly a 10. And honestly, if this card was in a 10 holder, it would not look out of place. But it's a 5, so that leads you to think wrinkle, which sealing makes, when the card has a wrinkle or crease, that the sealing is a 5. Now, the really good part about it, I paid $6 for this card. He had it up for $10. Best offer, I offered $6. He accepted. I just love this card. You guys know what this card means to me. If you're new here and you'd like to learn more about what this 620 means to me and all my friends, everybody knows it. It's my favorite card of all time. I did a whole video dedicated to it, episode 150. Two other things I had gotten in the mail recently is this atomic refractor Volpe. It's not numbered, but it's not simple. And a fine 9. And the sapphire, which is much easier to obtain than the regular atomic. But it's the Yankee blue. Now again, if I had to bet, if you force me to wager, I would say not going to make it. But he could. Tomorrow never knows. So these are things I enjoy. They're made by Topps. Technically, these are Bowman cards, not the Gooden, the other three, but they're made by Topps. I don't want to see Fanatics, first Fanatics card up there, like it says first Bowman card. I don't want to see that on a card. That would be foolish, in my opinion. What I think should happen. Oh, and it was also announced later in the evening that Fanatics is also, and again, none of this is ironclad, but it is believed to be that Fanatics has also acquired the NFL and NBA licenses. So let's stop and think about that for a second. So in 4 years' time, Fanatics will have baseball, football, and basketball. Now I think it would be completely foolish for them to just start up brand new lines. Fanatics Chromium or Chromium Fanatics, whatever the heck they want to call it. So what I think needs to happen is that Topps needs to look at the writing on the wall, and unfortunately the writing on the wall says money. And all this is a power move, which is, greedy, but as we're well into the second half of 2021, and honestly it probably shouldn't surprise anybody about greed and money. But what Fanatics should do is purchase Topps. They want a clean house. Clean house. People say, oh, Topps customer service is shit, and Fanatics isn't any better, and whatever. I don't care. I love collecting. Topps, I couldn't even tell you how many of these I pulled out of a pack in 1985. I closed my damn eyes and I remember opening these packs in a schoolyard in Queens, in Flushing, Queens, 36 years ago. Topps matters. Continuity matters. Removing Topps from baseball is wrong. That is my opinion. It is wrong to remove Topps from baseball. In fact, what should happen And if I were running things and this Fanatics thing was happening, I would have a scenario where the Topps umbrella expands to basketball and football again. So you have a scenario where Topps Chrome, basketball, Topps Chrome baseball, basketball, football. Topps Finest, baseball, basketball, football. Bowman's Best, baseball, basketball, football. Heck, I would even bring back Bowman Chrome, basketball, and football. I rekindled that love of those brands recently. But think of a scenario where we have all these brands back again. And of course, they would still be Prism and Select and Optic and NT and everything else. You know, and if they happen to be able to wrestle the license away from Upper Deck, maybe a scenario where we see a Jordan Prism card. Who knows? But I understand the initial reaction of pain and loss that we've lost Topps. I cannot accept that. That was my initial reaction as well. Like everybody I know, pretty much. But now we're a few hours on. We've had more discussion about it. And maybe, just maybe, you know, Topps will stop being so stubborn. Because if Topps doesn't sell the I don't know if it's their, I don't know the legalities of it, or at least the names to these brands. I don't know what to tell you. We're 4 years away from that. A lot can happen in 4 years. Some of us might not even be here in 4 years. But I don't like to think about that. It's important that Topps continues. Sure, they put out shit that we don't all like. It happens. You're not going to please everybody. But the basics. Bowman Chrome, Flagship, all of this stuff just needs to continue. You know, they've got, you know, they signed Mike Trout to a lifetime autograph contract. So if they lose everything in 4 years, I had a couple friends reach out, say, hey, do you think, you know, Trout autos will turn into like Jordan autos in the future? I don't know. But I could see a scenario where if Topps is stubborn and does not sell and just lets everything go, they'll probably just have Trout sign. Who knows? It's very upsetting. I understand that. Some of us has done this for a very long time. And we can't have this taken away from us. We just cannot have this taken away from us. You know, we need Topps. We need Flagship, and we need these things. You know, you don't have to like it, but it's almost like Americana. It's you know, it's the honor of, you know, the 70 years of being released every year. So, you know, it's just, I'm somewhat at a loss for words because this just came out of nowhere. Not that they would have told us. They would not have mentioned this at the show last month. Of course not. But, you know, swallow your pride, Topps. It's not poison. You can't be this stubborn just to let it all burn and let the 70 years just get thrown in the trash.